Hello, welcome to Tony's Cool Tools. If it's your first time, thanks for stopping. Today we're going to be covering more back-saving tools that I use in my woodyard and property. As I had mentioned previously, I am a one-man operation and need tools that will help me do the job by myself. And if you stay to the end, you can check out a video I just did. You'll see a deer that has an identity problem. Now, I'm sure many of you have gotten either a phone call or a text from either a family friend or relative that says, hey, they just dropped a tree in my neighborhood and the guy told me I can have it. Well, the first question you're going to ask them is, well, what kind of a tree is it? And their answer typically is, I don't know, but it's a big tree. And you go over there, and fortunately, it's a cherry, hickory, or oak tree, and you say, okay, I'll take it. But there's one problem. The property has a cyclone fence around it, and you can only gain entrance through a 36-inch gate. Now what? You can't even park your car or your truck in the back. So if you want to get it out, you got to be creative. And these tools here are creative, and I'll show you how. I'm going to show you, in my opinion, which one of these is the best for the woodyard, farm, or homestead. And you'll be surprised. Now, whether you call this a dolly or a two-wheel hand truck, it doesn't matter. They all do the same thing. And I could almost bet that every one of you has some form of this hand truck in your garage or shop. And most of you have a version just like this. Could be a little smaller, could be a little larger, but about the same thing. It has 10-inch solid rubber wheels, and this two-wheel cart does work. I've used it for many, many years until I switched. And this two-wheel hand cart does a great job, but it has some limitations. The wheels are only 10 inches, and they're solid rubber, and it's a narrow footprint. So it's sometimes difficult on uneven terrain to use these. The other thing is the front lip is rather narrow, probably under 10 inches, 10 to 12 inches, that's it. So you're limited in the amount of material that you can carry. The next hand cart we're going to cover is what I call the transformer. By pulling out a pin, lifting this up, you can put it horizontally, put this in here, put the pin at the bottom. Now you can move it. Really nice. The problem is, great on hard surfaces, concrete, asphalt, not very good on gravel or grass. And I'll show you. Similar to the first dolly, this is very narrow, and the lip on it is even smaller, probably 6 to 8 inches. Very limited in the amount of wood that you could put on here. It does, however, have pneumatic wheels, which is nice. And both the first and the second dollies are rated at about 5 to 600 pound capacity. Here's the benefit of the vertical horizontal transformer dolly that I talked about, and that is you could load quite a bit on it. If you have a customer who wants his firewood stacked somewhere and you have to travel a long distance on a hard surface, this is a really nice option. Moves around very easily, as you can see. You can put your kindling, your bundles, or your firewood on it. But here's one problem. When you transition from a hard surface onto gravel and the back wheels hit, it's not very good to move around. It's a little rough. And on grass, it's even worse. I started looking for a two-wheel heavy-duty hand cart when I retired and decided to move from Illinois to Wisconsin. The move would be done by myself, so I had to have something heavy-duty to help me move all of my tools and appliances and stuff like that. The big thing is, I would be doing it by myself. I initially looked at landscaping dollies, the kind that pick up the burlap-wrapped trees out there that can lift 1,000 pounds. But they were over $1,000, so I figured that's not going to work. So I looked at Logrite, and they too had a convertible type of hand dolly that does either logs or brush. It's called BTS, and I looked at that, but that one was almost $1,300, $1,200 to $1,300. So I was looking for something a little less. And after doing my research, I decided to buy the farm dolly. And I'll explain why when we do the lineup of all these dollies. Well, the next on the list is the farm dolly. and as I said before, this is the one after research I decided to buy. I purchased it from Harbor Freight. I waited until they had their sale, which was 30% off on either Black Friday or one of those sales, and bought it for $75. Unfortunately, with inflation, after checking, they're about $139 now. And I'll show you why they're worth their weight in gold. Let me give you some specs on this farm dolly. It's rated for 800 pounds, which I know I'm not going to be able to do by myself. It's 26 inches wide, 51 inches tall, and 21 inches in depth. That's from the back of the wheels. It is made of steel, tubular steel, which is awesome. It does have 13-inch pneumatic tires, and the nose plate on this one folds down. So you have about 18 inches of additional space. And I'll show you why it's so beneficial to have that extra space on the lip and why those bars in the center make a huge difference. It is made of tubular steel and powder coated, which is nice. I've had this one for 5 years and it's not rusted yet. Now this is imported and I don't know the country of origin. It is not made in the United States. But so far I've been extremely pleased with it. And the only issue that I've had is one of the bolts from the folding nose plate has come loose. The nylock on it gave away and I lost the bolt, so I just have to get one. But other than that, no issues whatsoever with this unit. And we'll demonstrate why this dolly is the best one to have on your property. Though similar in weight capacities between the appliance dolly and the farm dolly, this particular heavy-duty dolly will lift up to 1,000 pounds, or at least that's what they say it is. But I have put some heavy items on here, especially tools and appliances, refrigerators, freezers, and it does work really good. It does have the wider pneumatic wheels. It is approximately 20-inch footprint as well, and you have a lot of leverage right here from the top. It does have a wider lip at the bottom than most of the lighter duty units, but it is only about 12 inches, so you're limited as to what you can put on there. But it does work very well. And lastly in our list of hand dollies, it's the moving dolly. Great for washers, dryers, and refrigerators. Not very good for the woodyard. So that's all I can say about this one. Small wheels, small lip. It does have its purpose, but not in the farm and ranch area. Here's one of the benefits of the two-wheel farm hand cart. I have 5 bundles here, 5 1 cubic foot bundles. I could get 6 if I stack 2 at the bottom. Real easy to move, very stable. I can move it around. I can either pull it or I can push it. Real easy. And as I say, extremely stable. Let me explain why I love the nose plate right here with these tubular bars. When I take a block like this, which is 24 inches, and I pull it over, I cradle it into the center 2 rungs right there. And that holds it from rolling off. And I'll show you. I either use a pulp hook or my pickaroon to move the large pieces. And this is all I do. Now, even though that's tipping forward, I'll show you here in a second, by leveraging it back, it just falls right in the back. And now I can move it easily forward or backwards on uneven ground. That's how easy it is. And now you don't have to noodle these. As you can see, you could load up a lot of bucked up logs on this. I utilize my log tongs to load this easily so I don't get my hands wet here. And now I can easily lift this up. And if I wanted to, I could lay this down and put more on here and take it to or from the area that I'm going to. And it's easy to move. Uneven ground, on snow, Sure does save a lot of time when you have to move things a long way, especially on uneven surfaces. I own the Easton Made Axis, and I love splitting large pieces of wood like this. I don't have to noodle them anymore, I just bring the whole piece in. And here's why the farm dolly is so advantageous to be able to load a trailer. You've got your big block on, give it a lift, bring it to the lip, and just bring it right up. Now I can just use my picaroon and stack these up as needed. On to the next one. If I do have an unstable load and I have a long distance, I utilize my ratchet straps. I've shown you these before. I'll have a link in the bottom in the notes section. But all I do is hook it on, go around, now I'm ready to go. Easy peasy. How much easier do you think that gets? And whether I'm loading or unloading, it's just as easy. Well, I hope I showed you the benefits of the farm two-wheel dolly. You can pick them up at pretty much any farm and ranch store like Tractor Supply here in the Midwest. You can get it at Northern Tool or Harbor Freight. And for those of you up north in Canada, you can check out Home Hardware or Canadian Tire. They might be able to carry this. I checked Amazon, but they were ridiculously priced at over $300 or $270. And as I mentioned, I know that Tractor Supply lists this at $139. So you can check that out or go to Harbor Freight and wait until they have their sale and get the 25% off. Oh, here's the video of the crazy deer who thinks he's a bull. While hunting this weekend, I was able to capture this video. It's pretty cool. Well, as usual, I hope you found this informative, and if so, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember, pass it forward. Make the world a better place. And until I see you next time, have a good day.